Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. We have another Elixir Kitchen cooking and nutrition demonstration. And this is a special class for you today. We have some amazing guests who we'll introduce in a second. But happy Pride Month to everyone out there. We're sporting our Pride flags. See Daniela in the back with her Pride swag. Hello. So we'll start off with our introduction. So my name is Jeremy Capone. My pronouns are he and him. I am cisgender, male, and straight. And with me, my incredible co-host, Daniela.
Hi, so I'm Daniela Chiarini. I'm a dietitian at Princess Margaret Cancer Center and get to co-host these wonderful sessions with Jeremy. My pronouns are she and her, and I identify as a cisgender female who is straight. And I don't know, should we hand it over to our wonderful guests who are here and they can introduce themselves?
Yes, absolutely. And so we're just jumping in from our previous presentation by the Sexual and Gender Diversity in Cancer Care group at UHN and Princess Margaret. And we have two amazing members of the group joining us for our cooking demonstration today, Margo Kennedy and Raymond Dang. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to throw it over to you for your introductions, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the Sgdc team.
Great, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeremy and Daniela. We're so excited to be here. So my name is Margo. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a cisgender woman. I identify as a lesbian, and it's my absolute pleasure to be one of the co-leads for our Sexual and Gender Diversity in Cancer program. So sexual and gender diversity in cancer, we use sort of the acronym SGD, and that's a little bit shorter than the longer acronym that probably most people are more familiar with, which is 2S LGBTQIA+. And I'll turn things over to my colleague, Raymond.
Hi, everybody. My name is Raymond, and I go by he, they pronoun, and I am a...
Raymond, we can't hear you very well. Can you turn your sound up a little bit?
Are you folks able to hear me now?
A
little bit louder.
It's very low. Is there a way you can turn up the mic on your...
Should be... Okay, I'll try speaking a little bit louder for everybody so that everything is better. But is everything good now?
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So my
name is a little bit hard to hear.
Okay. So my name is Raymond, and I am a screener here at UHN, Princess Margaret Hospital specifically, and I have joined the Sexual and Gender Diversity Working Group in Cancer Care Working Group because it is such a great community to also share everything about cancer care and how we can make patients more comfortable in their journey. I go by he, they pronouns, and I am a queer, non-binary person. So if there's any sort of questions and you come and see me at Princess Margaret, I can explain a little bit more about that. So do we now explain a little bit about our events that are coming up?
Yeah, we'd love to hear more about some of the events you have going on. And yeah, well, why don't we start there for sure?
Yeah, so next week we have an event called Kimiko Does Cancer, and it's a virtual event that's happening on Wednesday, June 22nd at 3 p.m. And the information to that will be available on the website at UHN Sexual Gender Diversity in Cancer Care. So you can find the virtual poster there, and we'll release more details soon about the sort of event. We also have a lot of other events that Margo can speak to that are coming up and we're excited about. But if you're interested in getting more information about, getting involved with Princess Margaret and the Sexual and Gender Diversity Cancer Care Working Group, you can go to the Instagram and Twitter pages that we have at PM Chosen Family. That is PM Chosen Family. And on there, you'll see a link tree that has a lot of different resources, such as the updated resource guide, and that allows everyone to go to communities that fit and suit their needs. So it's incredibly cool what we were able to compile in that short amount of time and get up on the website. So if you're interested, check out our Instagram, check out our Twitter, and give us a follow, because we have some really cool content that is going on all the time.
Great, thank you, Raymond. Maybe just to add on just a tiny bit to what you were saying, our theme this year, our committee, is Chosen Family. And the reason why we picked that theme was just really trying to acknowledge the importance of support, and the importance that, you know, some people don't always have their biological family to turn to and to lean on. And I think in the Sgdc community, it can be quite common to have very close relationships with other community members and to develop chosen families who basically have a very similar role and function as a biological family. And some patients have both kinds of families. So at PM, we really want to be able to give out a message that we support all families in their various diverse forms. And we really appreciate the incredible support and hard work that caregivers and family members bring to supporting patients with cancer. And as Raymond mentioned, we've updated our community resource guide, and we're hoping that if, you know, people are feeling that they need more support, you know, that they'll reach out to us, that they'll have a look at the resource guide, and, you know, maybe find some great organizations and programs to connect with where you feel very safe and included and supported. And, you know, that's really a lot of the theme of our Sgdc working group as well. So one more quick little thing I wanted to add was, you know, it's really exciting. Everybody's kind of talking about the Pride Parade coming up in 2 weeks, and it's been so long since we've been able to get together and really celebrate Pride. I think at the same time, for many cancer patients, they're feeling a little bit kind of down because they're either doing treatment or they're just finishing treatment, and their immune system is pretty delicate. And it can be a little bit of a risk to go out to a Pride event and be in such a big crowd. So, you know, we just wanted to let people know that the Sgdc working program is going to be walking in the Pride Parade, and we're going to put lots of special hearts on the banner just so you can be there with us walking. Okay.
Nice.
And I think that's why something like a backyard grill is so important, because it's just a safer way to sort of get together in a smaller group and to connect with friends and support each other and, you know, just do that Pride thing that's so special. So on that note, well, I'll turn it over to you.
What a perfect Hey, thank you so much, Margo and Raymond. Again, you're doing incredible work and your team is doing amazing work. So thank you so much. And I'll plug again, I know Raymond mentioned it. So for more information, I know through the socials, it's at PM Chosen Family. Perfect, and I put that in the chat for everyone to check out. And is there a website, a URL as well for more information? I'm not sure.
We do. We have it on the, if you see PM Chosen Family and you click the link tree, there will be a link that sends you to the website. I believe it's the first link, so it should be right there, clear as day.
Perfect. So check out the link tree for more details in PM Chosen Family. Instagram, I guess it's probably in your Instagram as well. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So thank you again, both. We're going to jump into our cooking demonstration. Again, the inspiration from your team and Chosen Family and the Backyard Grill. And so we're going to be focusing on some grill or backyard grill / picnic type of recipes for today. And I was trying to do it outside to get more of that backyard feel. We had some technical difficulties with the connection. So this is a nice way to approach backyard grilling if you get rained out. I think Margo and was talking about that before. So we're going to show you how to do it either inside or outside, which would be really nice. Daniela, I'm going to throw it off to you.
Sure. Yeah. So we are really excited to partner with the Sexual and Gender Diversity in Cancer Care program. And the recipes we're doing today are perfect for the Chosen Family Backyard Grill. And they also align with the key recommendations for cancer risk reduction and support healing and recovery for the people that are undergoing treatment. So the first recipe we're going to do is the citrus glazed rainbow salmon skewers. And it is a great meatless meal option that boasts several health protective nutrients, and we'll talk about those as we go along. And of course, a rainbow of color. So World Cancer Authorities recommend that we eat no more than 18 ounces, 500 grams of red meat per week to reduce our cancer risk, particularly colorectal cancer. And so putting fish into your diet is one way of replacing the protein choice. And then Jeremy has this really great marinade that is a vitamin C rich marinade that will not only flavor the fish, but it also adds some good nutrition and helps to protect the fish as it's cooking on the grill. But he'll talk more about that, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, let's jump right into it. This is, super colorful recipe, but in terms of flavor, we're really going to try to approach that from this marinade. Okay, so the marinade is, think of like a dressing for like a salad. It's the sort of same principle. We want to add as much flavor into that as possible. And it's not only going to help flavor the dish, but you're going to see Danielle's going to talk about a little bit. It's going to add some protective properties as well, which is fantastic. So I'm going to bring it down to our cutting board, show you what we have going on here. So for our marinade, we want to, it's a citrus marinade. So obviously we're choosing some citrus. Now we're choosing orange and lemon. You can even add, orange and lime. You can even add lemon, is what I was going to say, into this. But this is going to add some nice acidity, which is great in marinades. Not only from, like if you're using meats, it acts as a tenderizer, but acid also acts as a flavor enhancer. So this will really help to pick up a lot of the flavors that are going to go into this dish. So first thing I'm going to do, wash your citrus well, and I'm going to remove the zest on the outside. So that is where a lot of those essential oils in the orange, lime, and lemon are kept. And they add a ton of flavor. It's also like an ingredient that we usually don't, or we usually forget about. We use the orange, we use our lemon, and we don't use that zest. But this is a really, really nice pop of flavor. This will add a really nice pop of flavor to the dish. All right, we'll do the same with our lime. And
You're
then
checking out that technique, right?
What's that? Oh yes, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
The zesting technique.
Yes.
Yeah, keep your fingers away from the blades. I think that's the only thing I'll say. All right, so we're gonna add some of that. So, and you, as soon as you zest it, you can start to smell a lot of those essential oils in there. It's wonderful. And then we're gonna add the juice of one lime, all that there, and the juice of our orange. So already you know that this is going to be super aromatic. And we're going to use this marinade on all of the ingredients that we actually include on the skewer. So if you are doubling up the recipe, obviously make a little bit more marinade. All right, and now we're going to add some ginger. Love ginger, really excellent aromatic. You can definitely add ground ginger if you don't have fresh, but fresh is just going to add so much more flavor in this preparation. So about a tablespoon. It's good. Again, back to the rasp. This is one of our favorite tools. Great for zesting, mincing, and then fresh herbs. This is cilantro. You can add parsley if you're not a big cilantro fan. Usually everyone is split on the cilantro debate. Margo and Raymond, I don't know where you sit on the cilantro love or hate.
I love it.
Love it for Margo.
I love it too.
All right, good, good.
So Jeremy, I was thinking the flavors, the aromas are also good for people who might be a little bit nauseated, right? And the acid, the flavors as well, the orange, the citrus, the ginger, if people are experiencing taste changes, I usually hear that something that is more of an acidic citrus flavor is more easily managed. So that's good.
Wonderful. Okay, so we have most of our main aromatics in here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of our fat. So we're adding some olive oil. You can add a little bit of a neutral oil as well, like a grapeseed oil. That would also work. And we'll add a little pinch of salt. I don't like to add too much salt at this point because you can season at the end, and it's, you add too much salt at this stage, then it's really hard to remove it after if it is too salty. So just a small pinch. And then honey, which is optional. This is just going to really help with the glazing part. So as it cooks either in the oven or on the grill, that honey is going to sort of thicken up. It's going to caramelize slightly, and it's going to give you this incredible coating on the outside. All right, so there is our marinade. Pretty straightforward. And now for our ingredients, again, this would be amazing with vegetables, with chicken, like whatever you did want to skewer. This is a really nice, simple go-to marinade. But for today's skewers, we're going to be using some salmon. So this is a Faroe Island salmon, but you can use any fish. Just make sure for skewers you want it to be a little bit thicker so that it does skewer properly and it doesn't fall off. And then for your vegetables, again, whatever you want. We have a jubilee of colors to choose from, and for these skewers, we're celebrating Pride, so we want to make it as colorful as possible. And so we have some zucchini. So I have some zucchini rounds, and I'm just going to throw this all together. And that way it sits in the marinade. I have some nice, beautiful red onion that has that purple color to it. Throw that all in. And then some bell peppers, which you can pretty much find in all 3 or 4 colors these days. So we'll throw some of that in. All right, now our marinade. And so the idea with this is I want to add half now, and then I want to save half for later to sort of glaze as it is on the grill or in the oven. So just give that a really, really nice toss just to get everything sitting in the marinade. And we're going to refrigerate that. And you can let that sit. Now, because we're working with fish, it is a much more delicate protein, and we do have an acid in the marinade. I don't want this to sit really for more than 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes is probably the max I would go with fish. If you are using vegetables, you can obviously go a lot longer, but vegetables won't really absorb because they're mostly water. They're not going to really absorb the marinade so much. So if you're just cooking vegetables, I would even just dress it and then you're ready to go with the grill. And then if you're doing like chicken or other meats, you can go much longer. So you can go an hour or 2. With some of the more tougher proteins, you can even go overnight if you wanted to with the marinade, because they won't break down as quickly. But yeah, so that's ready to go. Now, this is going to taste amazing. I already know that. But in terms of its protective benefits, Daniela, what are we looking at here with this type of marinade?
Sure. So with the marinade or the ingredients. We can talk about the fish. Yeah, we can talk about the fish, right? So it's a fattier fish. It has omega-3 fatty acids. And that has been found to support brain health as well as heart health. When it comes to cancer, there isn't strong evidence, but we can look at it as an option for the red meat. The marinade is helpful when we're grilling because it can help, especially with red meat, but even with the salmon, it can help to protect us from the cancer causing compounds that can be created when you're barbecuing an animal protein. So it's helpful from that perspective. And yeah, you don't get that same, you don't have that same concern with plants and cooking them on the grill. It's more from your animal proteins. So the marinade is helpful for that. And Jeremy, I think you were going to talk more about how are you grilling do you have a grill inside?
I don't, but so I'm doing these in the oven. So you can do it both ways, but I will talk about some of the sort of food safety and that you can just keep the meats or your foods a little more protected on the grill for sure. So I'm just assembling this here, and again, you can sort of alternate the vegetables and the salmon, make it nice and colorful. And with the vegetables, I mean, there's so many to choose from. Like eggplant would work really well on these. You can definitely do like asparagus or whatever you like that's in season. But in terms of some of the other techniques when barbecuing to keep the grilling a little bit safer. So the concern really is the flare-ups, right, from the flame. We don't want any flare-ups or any flame to actually have any prolonged contact with our animal proteins. And so like Daniela mentioned, having a marinade like this with the citrus is going to help protect the proteins, but other ways in which we can sort of keep or limit the contact with the flames is one way for cooking on the grill is through indirect heat. Okay, so I'll have to mimic this because we don't have my grill here, but indirect heat would be that your heat source is on one side of the barbecue, okay? And what I will do is have my skewers or my chicken breast or whatever I'm cooking, you can just start it on sort of a medium heat. And once you get that initial sear, move it to the side where there is no heat and close the lid. So the idea is that you're going to have this sort of convection heat that is going to circulate in the barbecue that is going to cook your ingredients, your proteins, your vegetables, but it's not going to be sitting under the flame, and so it's not going to have that direct contact with the flame. So you're not going to have the risk of any fats, because that's what's going to kick up the flames, any fats that are going to drip off of your meat proteins. Even your marinade might have a little bit of fat, olive oil, like that's going to kick up as well. So having it on the side where there is no heat is going to protect it from those flare-ups. So that's a really, really good technique. In the oven, I don't obviously have to worry as much because it's an electric oven. We don't want flames in there. If you got flames in there, take out the fire extinguisher, you have another issue. So that's one way. If you're cooking over like a charcoal grill or a gas grill and maybe the whole thing is on, this is a great handy barbecue tool. This is one that I highly recommend. Just go to the dollar store, get a little squirt bottle, and you can fill it with some water. And what you do is I always have this at the barbecue station because you really want to control the flames, right? That's really the key to a good barbecue cook, chef, whatever you want to title yourself. But this water, anytime you see flames, you can spritz them so that it actually will control it. It'll calm it down. And that way you're not going to have any prolonged contact with the flame and your ingredient. You can also sort of jazz the water up a little bit. I know people that will add like some lemon juice or some red wine vinegar or throw some like herbs in here. And so not only are you killing the flame, but you're also kind of flavoring it and keeping it really nice and moist as it cooks. So really, really great tool to have. And those are a couple techniques on how we can sort of control the heat a little bit. I've noticed I have this sort of flare down hook going on. I'm going to do nothing about it. We're just going to roll with it and keep going. So these are looking wonderful. And obviously you keep going, but for the purpose of this show, I'll do a couple to show you here. And we're going to throw these on the grill, or in our case, we're going to put them in the oven, and we're going to cook them until the protein, which is the fish, is really, really nice and flaky. So we'll do our little TV swap, magic of TV swap here. Trying to organize this way, okay. And here we have our amazing.
Oh, perfect, right? They look just like rainbows.
They do.
Oh yeah, awesome and super tasty, super colorful. The fish is really nice and flaky, and with the marinade, so the rest of the marinade, if you're on the grill, it's the access to actually brushing it and basting it is a lot easier. You can just brush it every once in a while. You don't want it to dry out, right? So this is a great way to sort of, again, keep it moist, but it's lacquering, sort of this lacquering or layering of flavors as you go. And the honey is going to sort of slightly caramelize and thicken up a little bit. But if you're doing it in the oven, you can even just do halfway through, add some on and then pop it back in. And then at the end, even throw a little bit more on for like the last couple of minutes, just so you get some more of that marinade. But that is pretty much it for these ones. And so what I would like to do is I'll throw it on maybe nice little cedar board, just like this. And these cedar boards are another great way actually to incorporate that indirect heat cooking method. So the flame is going to sort of hit the bottom. It'll protect your ingredients. This will start to char, which is the intention. You just, maybe soak it. I would probably soak it so that it doesn't catch on fire, because you don't want that. But as this smokes, it'll flavor the food. But again, you're protecting the foods from any flare-ups, which is great as well. So there you go. There's our citrus glazed rainbow salmon skewers.